Hello, everyone. Welcome to another fresh episode of True or False, the only podcast that keeps it real with you and tells you the two sides that there are to a coin. Okay, so we have a new face in the house, drum rolls, and because there's a new face in the house, we're expecting fresh, new perspectives. So we have Mr. Bassi here with
Perhaps.
us. Mr. Bassi, say hello to our crew.
Hello.
Okay,
Thank you very
so
much.
let's
I'm
dive right
actually
into
happy
it.
to be here.
A couple of days ago, I came across a statement from one of our Nollywood celebrities, Jim Ike, where he said, "A single mother cannot raise a proper man." And excuse me, as always, we have our reservations about statements like this, which is why we want to dive right into it and dissect it here and now. First off, I feel like that is a blanket statement. What I mean by blanket statement is, excuse me, a a very generalized statement. It's just like saying men are scum. You've not dated all the men in the world. Or
Okay.
saying that Nigerian women are gold diggers. You've not dated all the Nigerian women. You're not married to all the Nigerian women. So it's wrong for you to make a very thick generalization like that. So I feel like the statement, even though it might have maybe a little bit of fact in it, is wrong to say on all levels that a single mother cannot raise a proper man. What do you guys think, Mr. James?
When they say a single mother cannot raise a single man, I think it is not to water down the efforts of the mothers being put into raising their sons. I believe it comes with actually building a man, making him a man, and for him actually knowing what a man really stands for. There is this thing about you having a father in the house. Okay, let us take an example coming from the animals. In the lion kingdom, when the female lions are with the cub, you can see them just misbehave and run around and jump over their mother dress. But once the male lions step in, you see all of them being quiet. Everybody takes his position. Nobody wants to misbehave. So there is that rule of a father there that tells the child that unknowingly or consciously that your father is around, a superior head that will mend you, that will position you, that will not take any nonsense from you right now. He is here. There is a way a father loves. Like me now, I'm a father and I have sons in the house. Uh, my son can just walk up and I will walk up to him and I will give him
Smack him.
a very, very sharp knock. Understand? Because coming from my background, I have a father that was a senior Navy officer, and he does not
Wow,
play with
discipline
his
choke.
Yeah.
discipline stroke, and he does not play with his knock. Like my father was a man that if he is driving in by 4, because he usually come home by 4. Uh,
Everybody has to be lean by
yeah,
3:50.
if he is coming, my father will not catch you watching the TV. So my dad believes you close from school by 2, you are home, you have showered, you have eaten, you
Done
have
your assignments.
you have
Okay.
taken your
Like the system is regimented.
yeah. Now you have taken your siesta. You must sleep in between that 2 to 3 when you are back after you finish eating.
Yeah.
Then you must sleep. Then you must wake up exactly 4, or my mom will wake up. So you must be done with your own work, or you are doing your own work when my father is
Just
coming
back.
to the house. And if he's coming to the house, once he park his car, nobody steps out from the house to say, "Daddy, welcome, Daddy Oyoyo." Daddy Oyoyo, you will receive a knock.
But Mr. James,
Understand?
but Mr. James,
Yes.
wait, hold on. I thought that the idea of raising our children, we always said I want to do better than our parents
Our
did.
parents,
So
yes.
as much as we are trying to raise them up with discipline and all of that, we also need to give them be a bit lenient with it, give them that extend that hand of in the sense that they can come to us with anything. But because I get that, yes, your father was trying to lead you with that firm
Yeah.
hand and all of that, but where is the place of this is my child, he can be open with me? I feel like it's too regimented. And when we say that when we say that a mother cannot raise a proper man, a single mother cannot, are we only looking at it from this stringent, choked up
Yeah.
kind of upbringing? Is that what we're saying, Mr. Basi?
Okay. I actually think it actually boils down to a lot of these ideas have actually been how do I
Taken
even
out
put
of
it? Yes,
context.
taken out of context, something like that. Because when we say, I think when you talk about generalizing, generalization is something that we do. You
Okay.
get, yes, there's a lot of generalization. So let's keep that one aside. And we have a lot of prejudice
Yes.
toward certain
Certain
perspective,
subjects,
yes,
yeah.
certain subjects and all that. So let's keep that aside so that we don't get emotional about it. But let's tackle the main issue, yes,
Okay.
in context.
Yes.
Now, when we say that a woman cannot
Yeah.
necessarily is a keyword, raise a proper, is it a male child or a female
A
child?
male
Two
child,
of
a proper
them.
male child.
It's not just a male child. You get even a female child. Some of the daddy issues we have in females that we see in young ladies now is
Yeah.
because of the absence
Of the
of a
father.
father figure in the family. Because God Himself knows why He Himself runs a patriarchal system.
Yes.
You get it? So there is this dimension of love that only a man can give. We cannot trivialize that. That
Yes.
the absence of a father would always, that is why we advise people who do not have father figures in their life to find somebody,
You can look up to.
yes, who you can look up to, who would actually represent that thing that your father would have represented. Because there are dimensions, okay, let me just bring it down. There are dimensions of or kinds of love that a woman cannot just give.
Yes.
Yes,
But
because
rest on it because
yes, we
because if
we
you did this
definitely
kind of statement, then we need to be very cautious or intentional about what we're saying. Because if you say this kind of statement, there are people that this might come across to as a trigger. What do you mean by there are
yes,
dimensions of love that I cannot give my own child?
exactly. That is actually where we have to remove emotion from it.
Yes.
That you feel
So
that
when
you
you
can
say
do
there are
does not
dimensions of
necessarily mean
love
that you
that
can
you
do it.
can, what do you
It's just
mean?
like, yeah, it's just like a conversation we had prior
Yeah.
about how that your husband died does not necessarily make you able to raise a proper child. Because some
Okay.
people said, some of these single mothers that why
Yeah,
they
they
are
are not.
single mothers, it's
It's
not
not
because
because
they
they're not
had babies out
promiscuous.
of, yes,
Yes.
out of wedlock. It's not what we are talking about. Whether you had your children or baby out of wedlock, or
You were widowed.
your or yes, or you were widowed, does not necessarily give you that ability by default. Do you understand? Because that does not also remove the fact that we have a very, very, very masculine women who can actually, to an extent, give something that looks like the presence of a father, but they cannot do it alone. Because when a woman tends to become more masculine, the feminine, that's the feminine aspect of that woman
Dies down.
tends to die down. So you cannot give two of them at the same time.
So when you
That is the
say
that,
that there are dimensions of love that a woman cannot give, what do you mean? What are those
for
dimensions?
example, let's just bring it down so that we don't speak too much grammar.
Yeah.
Do you know that? Okay, let's assume discipline is a love language.
Definitely.
It is possible that you, as a father now, if your child comes back crying that somebody beat them, I think as a man, your first reaction would be, why would you be there? Your fellow, boy would actually do that to you, and you will not. Or maybe if your child keeps falling, keeps
Yeah.
falling, keep falling, come on, will you stop falling like that and be strong?
Sure, sure, sure.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
That is why sometimes if you see a young lady who is raised by a man, you see that they tend to be this masculine.
Yeah.
It's necessary to balance the whole thing.
Yeah.
There should be the feminine aspect and the masculine aspect. You get so, but the same person may cry to the mother. The mother will say, "Okay, sorry, sorry, sorry." Maybe the mother will be tired up to go and fight
Yeah.
for
The
that.
parent of the child.
Yes, to fight the parents
Yeah.
of the child.
Yeah.
But this is not supposed to be, but you would have, reacted differently, saying you should have fought back.
Yeah.
So I
Or
have to
sometimes-
And I would
I
like
have
to come in,
ask
yeah,
Mr. Jane
and I would
about
like
that.
to add to
Sure.
what you say. When we're actually growing up, because I would like not just to speak, I would like to bring in examples.
Examples, real life
Yeah,
examples.
Yeah, okay. When my dad was alive, it was so solid principles and discipline. Nobody was messing up. But when I lost my dad, at a point, my elder brother
Had to assume the
started
position.
facing my mother with blow.
Are you serious?
Because if my mom says sit down, he felt I am a man in the house,
I'm grown now.
coming from the discipline he has received. Until my mom will say, "This house will nourish me and you," and my elder brother will go and sleep on the almond tree overnight. Understand? Because then my mother was like, "You guys will not spoil in my hand."
So
Now for I am still coming. For us to get to the level we are, now my mom had to wear the coats and the shoes
Of a father and a mother.
of the discipline that my father was in. Now my mom even became more disciplined than my father, because at the point my mom will remove our socket that we used to plug TV or the decoder, and she will fold it and she will tell you to off your shirts, and she will tell you on your back it is 24 wires.
So, as I want to comment on this, right?
Yeah.
If we're talking, excuse me, if we're talking about this, drawing from what you said, if we're talking about this conversation of child raising a child,
Yeah.
it's actually very broad, right? Because you said something now, and about a child, the father crying to the father says, "Stand up," somebody can intimidate you like that. I thought that the idea is to raise children that are sound all round. Because I read something a couple of days ago, and the person was saying that schools are about to resume. Teach your children that it's not okay to hit another person's child. So when you talk about upbringing, it's not only just about the emotions, it's in teaching them the right thing as well. And I believe that a mother can instill the sense of right and wrong in her child away from emotions. Because as a child, my mother did not, or I won't teach my child to want to go and fight, or simply because yes, it's important to balance it, street smartness and how they say book wise and street smart. I get that, but it's not okay to. This is the kind of mentality or the kind of teaching that makes children. You see things like, okay, if you give it to me, aura for aura, you give me, I give you 10. Whereas there would have been better ways to resolve things like that. So because your child is beaten and you tell your child, you are here, junior slapped you, cannot slap junior back.
Anyway.
And so you're also teaching you're trying to teach, but you're also teaching the child that it's okay to fight.
Yeah.
It's okay to beat somebody.
Yes.
Do you understand? So I feel like
Let me help you
we
with
will not be able to dissect
We
this
will-
entirely
we will
in
do
one
the little
one
part,
sitting.
the little part we can do. Okay, now let me just add a little bit to it before Mr. James put in something in there. When you talk about bringing up a child, telling the child to behave well, not to be bullied in the school, or not to go to the school and fight and beat
Or make
up,
fun of others, or all those
make
kind of
fun
things.
of others. Look, there is this normal principle with men: no man raise up a weak child.
Mr. James,
I
don't
am
forget,
coming.
don't
I
forget,
am
don't forget that
coming.
there are children
I am
who
still
even
coming.
the
I am
presence of their
coming.
fathers don't turn out well. Remember,
Yeah,
we said that
I'm
a single
coming.
mother
You
cannot
know,
raise
I
a
am
proper
coming.
male child, a proper
I
man.
am coming.
There are boys who
You see,
turned out wrong even with the presence of
I am
their
coming.
fathers.
Now you see the
So
thing
how do
is,
you balance
please
that?
look. Even the Bible said, don't spare the rod.
And spoil the rod, and spare the rod, and
Yeah,
spoil the
don't
child.
spare the rod and spoil the child. See, it all comes in two ways, that we have to balance it. A father is a symbol of authority and power. Understand? So that position cannot be taken. If it is absent, then that void still remains. Now the wife feels it and the children feels it.
Okay.
Now I am close to my 40 and I still feel the absence of my father. Understand? When I'm not in the house, my children feel myself. When I come in, my two small ones will just cry, "Daddy, where were you? Daddy, we miss you." So you see, there is this daddy play that can be taken out. And when it comes to the area of discipline, father does it better. Before my wife beats the kid, I have to call her that my mom did not raise us this way. If my mom did what you are doing with these boys,
You won't have turned out the way it turned
I
out.
couldn't have turned out the right. So whenever they throw a leg outside, it is your job to either pack that leg inside, or you use a knock and push that leg inside.
So we don't have so much time, right?
Yeah.
And I want Mr. Bassett to quickly say something
Yeah,
before
sure,
we wrap
sure,
this
sure,
up.
sure.
So on the issue that I raised, because like you said, that you are a widow does not mean that you can feel the void and all of that. So, but we have children who, even with the presence of their fathers, they didn't turn out well. They didn't turn out proper.
You said something about being compassionate as
Uh-huh.
per that the father figure, if I understand you correctly, you said
Yeah.
that the father figure is not necessarily there to
Just to teach
teach
emotions.
this child to be
Mhm.
strong emotionally or
Yeah.
to retaliate.
Mhm.
This is what we gave was an example.
Mhm.
And I didn't want to just focus about raising a proper male child.
Yeah.
We're talking about raising a proper human being.
Sure.
True.
Do you understand? Whether the person is a man or
Or
a
a
woman,
woman.
you know, it's actually inconsequential. A child should be raised properly. And it should be done by the two people.
So what do we have to
So-
say to those people who, even with the presence of the two appropriate bodies, did not turn out appropriately?
You see that this damage is coming from somewhere. You're talking about the fundamental issues, because when you're talking about family, you're talking about the basic, this is the unit of everything that is actually happening in our society. This is where it all boils down.
Begins.
A child that was not properly handled in the family tends to be
Repeat
a
the
very
same cycle.
to be a problem in the society and then to the country at large. Some of the problems that we suffer now, even in marriages now, why some marriages are not actually working properly, was because of the possibilities that were communicated in the home. What we are saying, when we are talking about the presence of a father, it doesn't necessarily, what I gave us is an example, doesn't necessarily mean that you should always tell your child to fight back. You are training your child, but not everybody is training their child. We have absent-minded fathers. We have even mothers that are absent-minded. They are not doing.
Yeah.
They are not.
They're not paying the proper attention they
Some
ought
people
to.
think it's just flogging children, not being for them.
It takes
Some
much
of
more
them,
to raise
yes,
a child.
most of them are not there for the child emotionally. Do you understand? Let me tell you, I read something before I even got married about how that a child that was not actually that doesn't have parents that we actually there for them emotionally would tend to be very violent. I did not understand it until I saw something just recently. I saw that a child that is neglected, when they show something, say that, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
The person, before you know it, that child becomes irritated. Yes. Before you know it, some of them will become sociopaths and psychopaths and all of those things. So the presence of a father and a mother, what it does in a child is there is an aura a father communicates, a proper father communicates. Do you
But
understand?
I like how you said a
Yes.
proper father.
There's a-
Because
there's an-
being a father
there's
is
a-
not just in
It's
being
not,
able
no, we have
to
absent
birth a child.
fathers. I can remember those days. My mom told me something. There was a time my mom went to the market. I think it was a market or maybe farm or something. So but when she came back, she saw me in the house. You don't see me in the house by that time. He said, I'm going to play ball. I should be playing ball by that time. But my father did not say anything. He did not say anything. He didn't tell me you will not go out today. But because he was at home, you tell yourself that I'm
You
not
have to
going
be at
anywhere.
home.
He did not do anything. He didn't say anything. But I just stayed at home. Then I will he will tell do this and other. His presence communicated discipline by default.
Because you can't leave him to go and fetch water for himself to drink.
All of those things.
So there are so
what
many
I'm saying
things,
this is that is why it doesn't just about beating children, trying to. If you're a father, what you do, why we say, I think what I'm trying to say is, what you do as a father is what matters the most. Because that is what your children that's your presence will communicate by default. Do you understand? You've only seen the way that you live, how that your presence communicates a dimension of possibility and authority in the house. That would make them, when they come, they know what you like and what you do not like.
So I think at this point, I just want to encourage all the single mothers that they have actually raised up a very responsible and well-doing children. We really want to tell them thank you, and I would like to let my sister so that she just put the house to a close, so she
That's why you used to give me. That's why you used to give me the mic, right?
Yes, because I know if I did that, she will still ask more questions.
No.
So I
I wanted to actually wrap
No,
this
what we are
session
saying
up.
is, we are not necessarily saying that women who are single mothers are not doing a nice job.
Okay.
Yes, most of them are very strong.
Yeah, that's why I say
even when
context is important.
Yes,
because
even
way
the
that
discipline
they
we are talking about. Some women
much
are
more
disciplined
disciplined
children
than
than the
Yeah.
fathers
Well,
and all that.
the truth
So
of
it's just
this-
that the energy has to be balanced.
The truth
Yes.
of this is that we cannot actually exhaust. It's not
Yeah, I
exhaustible
think
in one
it's-
sitting.
it's a
Yes,
broad-
because it's very broad. You want
It's
to
very
talk
broad.
about the fathers, like you said, that are absentee fathers,
Exactly.
absentee
We have a lot
mothers,
of
and all
them.
that, and the fact that it takes much more than just beating to correct a child. Especially children of this generation. This generation children, they are much more observant and wiser than we
Exactly.
were,
Yes.
right? Because
They
you can
do
be
more
telling the child,
observations
you want
that
to
whatever you are
communicate with your
shouting
eye to
and
the
all
child.
that.
Child, mommy, why are you looking at me like that? So you need a high level of emotional intelligence and maturity to actually raise children and raise them properly. Like I was watching a video of a lady that she was telling the child was yelling and throwing tantrum, and then she asked the child, Is it okay to express yourself by yelling? As you're yelling now, is it solving anything? So it's not just about saying I'm a mother, I'm a father
Yeah.
because I donated sperm or eggs or stuff like that, right? So we
Takes
need
much
to
more
see
than
we
that.
eventually throw the ball back to our viewers and our listeners to tell us what they actually think. This is quite sensitive. It's a very delicate subject. It's something that is foundational, causes problems in the society and
Exactly.
all of that. So tell us what you think in the comment section. We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching. We hope to see you next time. Bye for now.